What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here again with another Madden 25 rebuild, and honestly, I wanted to wait on this one for quite some time, but we waited long enough. Basically, I've been kind of trying to wait for the Steelers to sign a different quarterback, but the only thing they've done so far is sign Mason Rudolph. But obviously, one of the bigger additions and biggest trades this offseason was DK Metcalf got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's go ahead and jump in. Even though the quarterback solution hasn't been found yet, maybe they drafted, I don't know. Let's go ahead and jump in and do a Pittsburgh Steelers. Now that DK Metcalf's on the team, Pittsburgh Steelers rebuild. A DK Metcalf Steelers rebuild, to say it in the correct way. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me that 87% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So you do follow that 87%. Want to change that? That would be greatly appreciated. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, as I said, made one of the bigger trades this offseason when they acquired DK Metcalf, who had requested a trade from the Seahawks. Now he is a Pittsburgh Steelers. So DK and George Pickens, which has been kind of criticized as a duo, but I guess we'll kind of see how it all works out. And then, of course, some of the other additions are like Darius Slay and Juan Thornhill as well. There's still a couple of other things we need to discuss too, who they've brought in. So let's go take a look at some of the other offers we have made. Now, there's a few guys that'll be missing from this list because honestly, I could go sign everybody, but it's not all that important. So we have Kenneth Gainwell, Malik Harrison, Brennan Eccles, Ben Skoranek, and Mason Rudolph are the 5 of the guys. And then there's like Donald Parham and Scotty Miller, and then like another D lineman that I've never heard of. So like, yes, I could go sign them, which I probably still will try to. But let's try to get these 5 guys to sign really quickly since they all were signed to the Steelers. And we get 3 of the 5 so far. So now let's go try to make our offer on Donald Parham because I know he'll be easy to find. Donald Parham is right there. So he signed like I think a 1-year deal. I guess the Steelers love their tall tight ends. Darnell Washington's a big dude too, as we know. And then the other one was a D lineman I've never heard of. It was like started with the last name E. But I don't think it's going to affect the video that much if I never find him. So I'm not going to worry about it. And Scotty Miller was the other one that they signed. So I'll go see if he's here. If he's already on a different team, I'm also not going to worry about it. So Scotty Miller will be the last one that I'll kind of look at. I don't think the other guy will affect the video that much. So M, let's see where M might be. If we can get there. Scotty Miller not here. So I'm not even going to waste my time moving him to punter to bring him to the team. It's not that big of a deal. So let's just hope that these last 3 guys will sign, and we'll kind of know what we have going into the draft. So Kenneth Gainwell, Ben Skoranek, Parham. Skoranek's still thinking about it, and hopefully the last day he does sign. So that's some of the additions that Steelers have made. Nothing too crazy. It's just pretty much depth. So let's head to the draft, and let's take a look at the lineup before we jump in. But I think in round 1, we probably have to draft a quarterback 1,000%. There's obviously still the possibility that Aaron Rodgers ends up on the Steelers, but who knows when that decision will be made. We all know how Aaron Rodgers drags things out. So this is what it's looking like before we head into the draft. So the O-line definitely needs improvement for sure. But they did lose one of their tackles to, I believe, the Titans, if I'm not mistaken. We have Frazier, Samalu, McCormick. I guess once Fashanu's healthy, Fatanu is healthy, that's going to make our offensive line look a little bit better, which will be helpful. But Pickens, Calvin Austin, DK Metcalf, then, Warren and Kenneth Gainwell is a running back room right now. It's not a great, probably there's some good running backs in this draft, thankfully. But we'll see when we get to that point. Defensively, we all know there's a lot of talent on this defensive roster. Benton, Larry Njobi, Lowry, Darius Slay, Beanie Bishop, Joey Porter, Deshaun Elliott, and then Patrick Queen, Cole Holcomb. So a pretty good team. So I think, to me, we don't have a second rounder from the DK Metcalf trade. I think first round needs to be quarterback, and then third round needs to be running back. I think that's kind of where I'm at. So that's probably all we're going to get in this draft if I had to guess, with no second rounder. Let's go see what we can get. And thankfully, there was just a tweet this morning that I saw that apparently Jalen Milroe is meeting with Mike Tomlin over dinner. Does that mean they're going to draft him? Probably not. Shedeur actually fell all the way to the Seahawks, which is interesting. But if he would have fallen to me, I would have had to made a weird decision. But I probably would have taken him because I don't know. Maybe he does fall. So there's Quinn Ewers as well. But I'm going to take Jalen Milroe here. So Jalen Milroe is going to be our quarterback today. We need to find one. He's got elite speed, elite strength, elite throw power. To me, that's a no-brainer. So welcome to the Steelers. Now, is Jalen Milroe a first-round quarterback? I have no clue. I'm not an expert at draft analysis. But he is going to be an intriguing option for some team, whether it's in the second or the third round, or maybe even later than that. Who knows? But he's going to be a guy that I think some teams will look at based off his running ability. So no second round pick, like I said. So in the third round, I think we need to get somebody in the backfield that takes some pressure off Jalen Milroe. That's where we'll go with this. So there's Dylan Sampson, which isn't a bad idea, but let's look at all of our options. Ollie Gordon, I think, is really good too, but unfortunately, he kind of sucks in this draft class. There's also like Caleb Mullings and then RJ Harvey, Cam Scattaboo, Brashad Smith, Woody Mark. So do we go Sampson or Ollie Gordon is the question. I've gotten Sampson before. Ollie Gordon has solid speed. And then what is Dylan Sampson's speed before we make this decision? Dylan Sampson's speed's elite. So to me, this is a no-brainer. We're going to go Dylan Sampson here in round 3. He'll be the new lead runner with obviously Najee Harris gone, which I think was the right decision anyway. So that will be our offseason, mostly done by the Pittsburgh Steelers. All I did was add a running back and a quarterback. So I will see you guys with the lineup for year number 1 with DK Metcalf and George Pickens as a duo, which should be interesting. Let's take a look at the lineup for year number 1 with this new team for the Steelers. So hopefully our offense can be better for the Steelers, because obviously the Steelers offense hasn't been spectacular for years, since Big Ben technically. So Milroe, Dylan Sampson is your new backfield with DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Firemouth. We have Jones, and then we also have an actual young tackle too who can develop in the background, which is great. Matanu, Samalo, Frazier. So it's not a bad O-line now that everyone's healthy, and we have extra depth for the future too, which is great. But yeah, offensively, I feel pretty good about what we have, and hopefully it leads to good things. Defensively, same thing. Can't be mad about the Steelers' defense at all. Now, the one question I have with Milroe being the quarterback, do we change the playbook right now, or do we leave it the way it is and just hope it works out? I think with Milroe, I would like to ideally change the playbook, I think. I'm not really sure which one would fit him best, though. So as far as, like, I guess I know I could go to Baltimore's playbook, but I don't know if Milroe would be like that. Maybe he will be. I don't know. But is there another quarterback with, like, I guess there's Bill's playbook with Josh Allen, who scrambles around a little bit. So maybe I'll rock with Bill's playbook for year 1 to see how that goes. I don't often use that playbook, so that should be kind of interesting. Although they spread the ball around. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go to... I'm going to rock with Bill's playbook. I want to see what that does. I don't use that playbook. I might have passed it already. There it is. Okay. I'm going to use the Bill's playbook, and I kind of want to see what Joe Milroe can do with that. And hopefully it leads to us having a good offense, because that's been something, like I said, that's been long overdue for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's simulate year 1 with this new backfield, new DK Metcalf here, and we shall see how it goes. So it looks like that playbook did not work out the way we expected. We went 5-12, so not the most ideal record in the world, obviously. So let's look at the player stats. Offensively, 16 NFL, which could be worse, right? So we'll take it. Defensively, we're also... So we're middle of the pack on both sides of the ball. Milroe was about as average as can be. 26-26. He had 5 touchdowns and 700 yards from Dylan Sampson, 400 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns from Milroe. 980 yards from DK, 900 from Pickens, 900 from Austin, 600 from Firemouth. And then sacks-wise, we had 11.5 from Alex Highsmith. So we were basically, all the stats look super mid, but we were, like, good. Like, or we weren't mid at all. We were terrible. 5-12 is obviously a very bad record. So the one thing I will say is it gives us a good draft pick to build with. So at least we have that. So we have another year of building with a good draft pick. Should have some cap space as well. I guess that's the bright side. So let's just get straight to work after that abysmal season, because I was not good at all. We have 160 M's to work with, which is great. I have to assume that there's quite a few free agents to worry about. So obviously, first one being, okay, well, DK Metcalf signed a new 4-year deal worth $132 million. So let's just give him that right now. We'll make sure that is exactly the number it is. So 132 is what he signed. So he'll be back for that. Now, TJ Watt, obviously, going to get an extension, I assume, in real life as well. But we're going to extend him, too. I mean, he's our best pass rusher, so no need to let him go. George Pickens, also a free agent. So I didn't realize that him and DK Metcalf were going to expire at the same time. But that's definitely worrying. Deshaun Elliott, 29 years old. I'm going to keep him as well, and he will stick around. Cole Holcomb is down to 76 overall, 30 years old, 1 throw, no let walk. Slay, he's fine depth, so I'm going to give him a 1-year deal, but I think I might let the rest of these guys go. So Slay will be brought back for 1 more year. Well, I guess we have our O-line issues too. 5th-year option on Broderick Jones, which I'll go ahead and accept. Isaac Samalu, probably let him go. Larry and Joby let go. I think that's about it. So we'll let the rest of these guys walk, which leaves us with $65 million in cap space. So that's not bad. We can work with that. We can look to improve whatever we feel like we need to improve. So let's take a look at Milroe and Sampson's dev trade still right now to see if anybody's like, okay, so Joe Milroe superstar dev, which we'll take. So immediately, the tackle we drafted, or I guess the AI drafted, I should say, is a star dev, 75 overall. So that's great. So we only really need a guard or 2 guards if we prefer to upgrade the guard spot. We do need a wide receiver 3. Quez Watkins isn't going to do it for me. So guards and wide receiver 3 on the offense. Defensively, Wilson can step up middle linebacker to play Cole Holcomb, and Watt and Alex Smith are both superstar X factors, which is great. We definitely need to improve the D-line, and we could use a legit corner as well. So let's go see if we can address all that in free agency, and we still have a draft pick underway still as well. So a lot we can do to improve this team. So only 4 offers have been made in free agency for us, as we're going for Joe Thuney, we're going for DJ Reader, we're going for Calvin Austin to bring him back, and Travis Jones. I wanted to go for Deron Bland as well. Unfortunately, he has 0 interest in coming here. And when I made him an offer, we were like his 4th team. So probably not going to get him. So we're just going to give up on that before it even starts. And we're going to see if we get these 4 guys to sign. Joe Thuney gives us legit guard, which we were looking for. So already we lost out on the idea of bringing in Calvin Austin because the Cardinals are going to outbid us, which is fine. We still have Jameson Williams here. We can get some speed, or we have Raven McLeod or even Devin Duvernay from the Ravens, who's only 20 years old. So he should be kind of a replacement to what Calvin Austin was. So I'm fine with that, unless if Calvin Austin chooses us. But it looks like we're out on him. So we're just going to withdraw our offer, and Duvernay will sign. So that is our free agency. Not bad. I know Shakir was there, but he is technically not even supposed to be a free agent, which is why I didn't go for him. Now we get to draft with a good pick. So we have a legitimate guard with Joe Thuney. There's no guarantee he sticks around forever, though. So obviously this is just kind of a stopgap, but we'll take it. And defensively, I think ideally we could draft a corner. I'm going to move Benton or DJ Reader to left in here in just a second. But ideally we can draft a corner round 1, ideally. But I don't know if that will be ideal, if that's going to be an option. We'll have to kind of see and feel it out. But I'm going to move Benton to left in right now, and I will see you guys in the draft where we should have a great pick. We'll have to see what's on the board when we're there. So we actually have the 3rd overall selection, so that should be able to land us a legit player no matter how you slice it. So let's see who falls to us at pick 3. So Proctor and Ruben Bain go off the board, so that's an O lineman and a right end. I know Caleb Downs is going to be here, but we do have Minka Fitzpatrick, so probably won't go that direction. Francis is here too. We have Spencer Fanu, Kendrick Folk, Jair Hill, who is a corner, which I said I would love a corner. B-man, B-zone. Speed is great. Jair Hill, or do I take... I can either take the left tackle and take Francis here to, move him to guard or whatever and really complete our O-line. Or we could take Kendrick Folk out of Auburn to give ourselves a legitimate D-line. A lot of different options we can go with. But I think I'm going to land on taking Francis, and let's give ourselves a legitimate O-line to protect Jalen Milroe, so our rushing attack can be awesome this year. So we're going to take Francis with the 3rd overall selection. Number 8 true value, drafting at the 3, should be A+ value, like I said. So we're going to probably move him inside, or we could keep him at tackle, but there's no guarantee that Broderick Jones stays here forever. We have an early 2nd rounder as well, so let's see if we can't use that to our advantage. So Zachariah Branch, Bruner, or Traore, which I think I'm going to take Traore here. So welcome to the Steelers, Barbica Traore. I don't know how to say his name, but probably a good pick here to give us some depth on the D-line, which we'll take. And then now we can go to round 3 and end it off with hopefully a bang with the pick. So we have not drafted a corner yet, so I'm going to see if there's a corner that might be worth taking still available. Usually you can get a decent corner at this position in this draft, I believe. Let's see if there is one worth taking. We have Marcus Allen. We have, oh, wow. We have Terrell out of Clemson, who could have went round 1. Speed is good. I guess I'm going to take him here. So that will be our last pick. And he'll be 70 true value, driving 6'7". Only normal speed of 92. Or, sorry, only normal dev of 92 speed. So that will be our draft in our offseason. So let's go take a look at the lineup for year 2 and hope things will be much better than last year, because last year was disappointing. So let's take a look at the lineup for year number 2 and see if this is going to be a much better year. So Francis is actually ready to start right away, which I don't hate the idea of. Broderick Jones hits the bench, so we can rock with that. I can get behind that. Let's have Stowers, Washington. So our offense got even better. We're going to move Dylan Sampson still to running back 1. Pickens, Duvernay, DK Metcalf remains our wide receiver trio. Or I guess Duvernay is a new addition. Decent depth with Traore here. And then our corner we took was a 73 overall. So he doesn't quite... I mean, he's on the depth chart, but at least he's just depth. He's not going to be a starter unless he develops, of course. But he's only normal depth, so we'll see. All right, I'm going to keep the playbooks the same because they didn't do me wrong. They were 16th, which isn't horrible. We'll see if with year number 2 with Milrow having another chance with the playbook, if things will go better. But that's the goal. That's the hope. And we'll see you at the end of year 2, where hopefully this time, better simulation, and maybe we'll make the playoffs this time. But we'll see. So this time, much better. 10-7 gets us in. Now, that is a typical Mike Tomlin record, 9-8, 10-7. So it still doesn't feel as good as you'd want, but it's better than not being in. Well, I guess you could argue with the Steelers fans may disagree because they've been dealing with mediocrity for quite a while now. Maybe 10-7 doesn't feel great, but at least you have a young quarterback still, or now. I don't know. Steelers fans would have to let me know how they'd feel about that. But offensively, 14th in the NFL, and it looks like Milrow had a much better season, but we'll take a look at the interceptions. Defensively, top 5. So we had, better interception-wise, 35 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. I mean, through 26 last year, so that's progress, I guess. 9 touchdowns, and then 500 yards from Milrow, 700 from Sampson. We had 1,000 yards from Duvernay, surprisingly, and DK and Pickens were hardly involved. So it was Devin Duvernay's show, which is quite shocking. Sacks-wise, TJ Watt back on top of 14, 7 with Alex Highsmith, 2.5 from Jones, 2 from Queen, and Queen had 6 interceptions going along with that, so we'll definitely take that. So round 1, we get to play, who was it? I didn't even really notice who it was. It was the Texans. So we'll go see if we can knock off the Texans. The one thing we have going to this is we have a decent offense and a top 5 defense. So to me, that feels like a team that could win a Super Bowl. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but we'll see. Or I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's not impossible is what I'm trying to say. Maybe a Super Bowl could happen as soon as right now, but we'll see. So CJ Stroud and the Texans as we visit them in H-Town. We start off with the football here, and we will go up 7-0, start things off. If our defense shows up throughout this entire postseason, so far our offense is on the Texans, then we could be in very good business. 21-7. Milrow is having an insane game so far. If he can keep this up, we're going to win Wild Card Weekend and beat, defense gets us a pick, 31-15. This is exactly the kind of game you'd want if you are in the playoffs. So Steelers get ourselves a playoff win very convincingly, as the defense played amazing and Milrow played great as well, giving us quite a few touchdowns in this one. So we'll definitely take that playoff performance. Hopefully keep the momentum going and take this in divisional weekend and knock off whoever's in front of us there. We take down the Texans, which feels like a really good win. The competition will get stiffer here as we play the Kansas City Chiefs now. So we just won on the road in Houston, and now we head on the road to play the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So let's see how this one's going to go. It's a rainy day too, which maybe favors us. I don't know. We'll see. So we are going to start off. It looked like we start off with an interception potentially there. So far, not great, as the Chiefs have a stranglehold on us, and we're going to go down 21-0. All right, 7-21, and the Chiefs are not, they double dipped on us too. That's actually crazy. So 14-35, our offense finally showing up at the end. But obviously, it's way too late for that. So we get divisional weekend, but we get bounced pretty easily there. So Chiefs had us there. I thought we would have something going with that win, convincing win to head over the Texans, but the Chiefs humbled us. Now it's back to the drawing board again. This offseason, we have about $78 million in cap space. So let's go see who needs to be re-signed. So Patrick Queen, who's up to superstar dev, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter, Fatan. Wow, there's some banger free agents here, not gonna lie to you. So let's start off with, honestly, every guy I just signed, I wanted to re-sign. So Patrick Queen is now superstar 88 overall. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick, he's older, but he's still only 30 years old, and he's superstar 88. So yeah, same thing. I want to keep him. Porter, our best corner right now. Slay looks like he may have retired on us, so that makes sense. Joey Porter will be brought back. So a lot of our cap space, 50-year option on Troy, will take. Benson, I want to keep, who's only 26. We're not going to have a lot of money to work with in free agency, it looks like. Warren, and then Nick, and then Beanie Bishop. So I'm going to bring Beanie Bishop back too, because he at least is a good third corner. And then let's go Jalen Warren. I'll bring him back too as another. I already did it. Whatever. So $12 million in cap space. We can let kind of the rest of these guys walk, I guess. Although we can't let Boswell walk, can we? Boswell's a stud. I know Steelers fans would torture me for that. So just kidding. He's going to play for a new team. Has a kicker ever been franchise tagged? I would assume that has probably happened, but I just never heard of it. But I'm not going to. So Boswell, I guess, is going to leave us, even though he's been a damn good kicker. Him and Brandon Aubrey have been kind of the best lately. So let's go take a look at the lineup now that all that's squared away. So only $13 million in cap space. And I kind of want to look. And Joe Thuney, did he retire yet? No, he's still here. So we have him for another year too. So just like that, our first round pick from this draft is up to a 84 superstar dev, which is great. So to me, the offense really doesn't need much work because Duvernay was great for us last year too. Only a backup quarterback's the only problem I see, and we have a pretty good trio of tight ends as well. I forgot about Jones just sitting here. We can actually move him to right guard. Why did I forget about this guy? So let's move him to right guard. That makes our O-line even better. Should have done this last year, so let's do it now. Better late than never, right? So let's move him there, and he might even be better than what we had there currently. Not quite, actually. 77 overall, but still. Whatever. So he's going to start regardless. So we just need a backup quarterback on offense. Defensively, corner is by far the biggest thing we need. No brainer. Or, I mean, I wouldn't mind a strong safety as well, too. But let's see. So let's go take a look to see if there is a free agent worth restructuring contracts for before I do all of that. So Aiden Hutchinson is available. We don't need Aiden Hutchinson. We kind of have Watt and Alex Highsmith already. Ronnie Stanley, Kenny Moore, Fuller, Javarius Ward, and then, yeah, not a whole lot that I like here. So there's Richardson, but we don't need a quarterback, obviously. And Javarius Ward is interesting, at least. I don't know if we have the money for him, though. I guess we do, actually. Javarius Ward wouldn't be a bad corner, too, to bring in, I guess. How old is he at this point? He's 31, so he's still going to be serviceable. So Ward will be our only addition to add to this defense, and that might be all we can really do in free agency. I'm not even going to bother restructuring contracts. I don't even think this is really necessary to do so. So Aiden Hutchinson goes to Seattle, so at least he stays far away from our division. And now we just got to draft well again and hope that year number 3 serves us better. Year 2 wasn't bad. It could have been better by beating the Chiefs, but we'll take it still with the way it went. Winning a playoff game is never nothing to be upset about. Let's go see if we can't continue to build on what we have in this draft. So I'm not even looking for a particular position here because we kind of have a starter everywhere, but I did notice D tackle is a little weak with DJ Readers. So I think that's where I'd go if I have the opportunity, as we do have D'Angelo Henning sitting right in front of us, or we have Pleasance or maybe somebody else in the future. But D'Angelo Henning looks good, so I'm going to take him here to add into the trenches. So 66 in true value, only normal dev. Which sucks because that was not a good pick, it looks like, unfortunately. But we took a swing and we missed. Strike 1. Let's go take a look at pick 2. Whoops. Did I just skip the pick? What did I do? I think I just skipped my pick. I did. They took Chad Belton. How did I do that? I accidentally clicked to next. Wait, what? I don't even know what the hell I just did, honestly. But whatever. We missed out on our second round pick. So Chad Belton was the pick. Not who I would have taken personally, but now for round 3, and hope we can make up for that because that was an accident. So round 3, we have Belton, which is another Belton, but this time at the strong safety spot, which I do think we could use because we don't really know what Elliott's future is going to be, but we can't take a poor speed strong safety. Zaytap is speed decent, so both of those guys do not look good at all. Another wide receiver option, or we could take Will Bloom at a Ole Miss, and I think I've taken this guy before. He ended up being pretty good. So I think this is where I'm going to go with this. So that will be our round 3 pick, 129 true value on a normal dev. So overall, this draft class was pretty bad, and we didn't really do much other than sign Javarius Ward and re-sign everybody. So we're basically just running it back, pretty much. So we shall see if year number 3 can swing our way. So at the end of year number 3, we make the playoffs, this time with a legitimate record at 12-5. So that would feel pretty good to see, I assume, as a Steelers fan. Maybe this playbook wasn't the best for getting DK Metcalf involved, but it's made our offense good, so I can't complain. Offensively, 10th in the NFL, and then defensively, we were 19th in the NFL. So not a top 5 defense. 37-9 from Moreau, so the interceptions have come down a significant amount, as 13 touchdowns from Moreau. 6 from Sampson, 1,100 yards, 1,000 yards from Pickens, and 14 from Duvernay, who continues to eat in the slot for us. DK with 6 touchdowns, 700 yards. Defensively, sacks-wise, TJ Watt with final legitimate season, 17 sacks, and then 4 receptions from Queen, 3 from Metcalf Fitzpatrick, 2 from Ward, and 2 from Elliott. So we get to play our division rival in round 1, the Baltimore Ravens. So this is not going to be easy. Now, we are at home, so hopefully that works in our favor, but we shall see how this will go. I have my doubts, but hopefully we can knock off our fellow division rival in the playoffs. So I'd feel pretty sweet. The Lamar Jackson versus Jalen Moreau in the in wild card weekend. So we do have home field advantage, thankfully, as we start off with the Rock, and we will go up 7-0 to start things off. Eventually we get a stop, and we'll go up 14, and an interception from Metcalf Fitzpatrick, 17-0. So good start so far. We got to keep the foot on the pedal. And the Ravens, nope. I thought they were about to get back in the game, but instead we're up 24-7. 14-24, and the Ravens are slowly getting back into it. Can we put them away on this drive? Yes, we do. 24-21. It looks like they never saw the ball. So we will take down the Ravens here in wildcard weekend. So that's 2 wildcard weekends in a row, but let's go see if we can win a divisional weekend this time around. So divisional weekend for us here. Once again, this time it's not against the Chiefs, it's against the Chargers. So let's see how this goes. So we start off with the Rock, and we will have ourselves, oh, it looked like we're about to go down 7-0, but the interception from Patrick Queen becomes a big play at this point in the game, and we get a field goal to take the lead, but the Chargers will score the first touchdown of the game. Now it's 26 seconds left with all 3 timeouts. So I'm going to see if I can't steal a touchdown before this half is over, because I feel like I might be able to score with this time remaining, potentially with the amount of talent we have at wide receiver. I'm going to throw DK on a go route and see what they do with it, and I am going to just, okay, I almost do an interception instead. 2nd and 10, 21 seconds left. So I might be putting us in a bigger hole here if I do something stupid, but I'm willing to take the sacrifice of trying to put us in a better position. The DK and Pickens are obviously 50-50 deep threat guys, and I'm going to, luckily, almost throw an interception. I was trying to scramble out of the pocket to buy some time, and that could have been picked, but it wasn't, which is all that matters. All right, let's just try for a field goal then, unless if Pickens decides to get open or something. But actually, it looks like we may have a... Okay, so that's going to be a nice play. 10 seconds left. We'll call a first down, so move the chains. Kind of needed that after what we saw the last couple of plays. But all right, it looks like they're double covering DK right now with the defense they have set up. But let's see what we can do here. Can he... Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, that's a horrible pass, though. Warren was down the sideline wide open. Bro, just give me a better pass, and that might have gone to the house. He was wide open. If you threw that in stride, Joe Moreau, I don't know, man. I think that could have been a... Ooh, you know what? That is same thing. It's a horrible pass. Horrible pass again. But that's what we get for, I guess, having Joe Moreau as our quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I thought he'd be developed now at this point, but he is just throwing some things out of the sideline. We get nothing out of that, essentially. So now we got to let the Chargers start off with the ball, and they will take advantage, and they kick a field goal. But we'll tie it 10-10. So we get a touchdown there. We get the ball back. Can we go score on this drive? We will. 17-10, and the Chargers have nothing to respond. So we may not have done anything when we jumped in, but a win is a win as usual. So let's go see who's winning us. The AFC champ. I feel like this is a team that I almost never see in the AFC championship in Madden nowadays. Now, obviously, the Patriots used to be the most dominant team in the NFL at one point, but I feel like in Madden, I never see them here. So this is kind of interesting. We're in Foxborough, which this feels like a classic Big Ben versus Tom Brady matchup in the playoffs, but it's totally different. It's Milroe and Drake May. So far, no score for either team, and that continues that way, maybe even to the second half. Nothing. So neither team has scored so far. It's been a classic defensive game. Does a field goal win us the game here? 10-0. So that might be all we need to win the game, unless we let the Patriots get the ball back, which they never see the ball again, it looks like, or they got stopped in that last drive, or we're going to win 10-7. So another ugly win. But we will take it, and we're moving on to the Super Bowl. This is a pretty poetic way to end this video off, because in the Super Bowl, we actually draw the Seattle Seahawks, the former team of DK Metcalf, which this video was kind of centered around. So Seattle comes in, or I guess I don't even know where, we're in Miami. So we're both in Miami, and now we get to play a Super Bowl here, and let's see if DK can't get revenge on his former team for, I guess he requested a trade, so I don't even know if it's really revenge. But it's 3-3 so far. And we'll go up 10-3. So first touchdown goes to us. And we get stopped on that possession, but we'll go up 13-3. Seahawks score, and we put up 20-10. Seahawks will score at 17-20. So all we need is a first down in them to waste all their timeouts. And we have ourselves a win here in the bowl. So let's see if we can't make that happen. I might even try to throw them off guard here. Let's let DK Metcalf in this game. Did they jump off sides? I don't know what this play is. I'm going to take a chance that this is offsides. And DK Metcalf's going to make the play anyway. And I think he was in bounds anyway. So was that offsides? It was. So I'm actually very happy with throwing that out downfield. And we are going to be... DK did come down with that. So that was awesome. So that should pretty... Well, it actually doesn't put the game away. But we could put up a... Well, yeah, no, this game is far from over still. So we're going to stretch this to the left side. Offensive blocking. I mean, I could have hit the inside. I just didn't. I tried to stretch it out. So that was my fault. I'm very happy to see DK make that play downfield, though, to put us in this position right now. Let's try to give him a chance again here. So let's try to hit him if they leave him open anyway. Not there. He's not open. Let's just scramble this upfield, and we are going to get down at the 3, or 3rd and 3, I should say. We're not at the 3. So 3rd and 3. What a beautiful way it would be if DK could just get this first down catch on his former team. That's the hope. And he is there, and he is going to secure the Super Bowl for us. Metcalf's going to make the play to end the game, and we can kneel this one out, and we can end this off with a Super Bowl Lombardi trophy coming back to Pittsburgh once again. So thank you guys for watching. I am hoping by the time you're seeing this, the Steelers haven't signed like Aaron Rodgers or something, because then you'll never see this video. So I'm in it there. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.